Hello everyone, my name is Barbara and I'm a Polish girl who lives in Ireland and likes to knit. And today I have episode 64. This is a longer video which I chit chat about everything. And this one will be about everything, literally. So if you're interested, sit down, have a coffee or a tea and you're knitting and enjoy for a bit. It will be a mixture of everything. Unusual episode, I would say. And a new thing that I'm adding into my videos lately, you may have noticed, is that I'm just asking you to double check that you're watching my videos on Knitting I Love channel. So just down there, go have a look and see, does it say Knitting I Love? And this way. Right, so hello, thank you so much for clicking and checking me out. This episode is about, as usual, loads of knitting, loads of whips. I may show you all of them. If this video will be longer than an hour and if I reach 2 hours, I will split it to part 1, so it could be part 1, and then at some point I will split it to part 2. We shall see how it goes because I have so many things to share with you and it will be a little bit behind the scene content in this episode, not only just knitting and yarn, but yeah. So all those things you can find down below in the show notes, in the description box down below. I do a timestamp, so make sure that you're watching on Knitting I Love channel. And to link all the things that I'm talking about, I may not be able to link to everything because I have loads of things to show you, and that would be my one thing that I would be hesitant to show you because, oh my, so many editing and so many links, so many checking someone else's websites to linking to this video. So I'll be showing everything if I have labels on the screen, so if you want, just pause, write down what you need and do your own research. I hope that's fine. You can find me on other social medias and I'm most active on Instagram as Knitting I Love. Again, a shock. If you want to share anything with me, use hashtag Knitting I Love or also tag me. I'll be so honored if you do that. It makes my heart sing. If you're on Instagram and you're tagging me in your stories, I can re-share your story, but if you're just using hashtag, unfortunately Instagram doesn't let me to do that. So thank you so much for showing me my pouches, for knitting my patterns. Some of you are tagging me and you may notice that I'm sharing that stuff on my profile because it makes me smile. So thank you so much for doing this. What else you may know about me is that I have a website which is knittingilove.com, and I have a little shop over there that I sell a few bits over there. So if you're interested, just check it out. I'm using things that I'm selling. No, I'm not selling yarn, but I hope you will go there and at least browse through it. You don't have to buy anything, but just have a look. Let's start. First thing, announcement and a warning, just to let you know. Oh well, life has ups and downs and there's a few bits happening behind the scenes, behind my Knitting I Love channel. And I think like a few weeks ago, I may have informed you that there was a wave of, and it probably still is, a wave of photos that they're taking from accounts, and their accounts created on Instagram, that they basically pick the most beautiful pictures of other accounts. They may not tag them, that the credit is going to that person, but you know, you probably figure out the main thing is to build up subscription and maybe sell the channel and rename the channel, or after a while create a shop and sell stuff on it. And I don't know, hopefully even if they're selling, they're actually selling the stuff and sending the stuff to the people who are actually clicking and buying. But what I'm doing at the moment, I'm literally checking every person who follows me on Instagram, and if I notice account and that have video that has photos like that. You know, it's like it's too pretty to be true. Then I'm blocking that account. There is no name, nothing. It's just maybe just random daily knitting adventures, or like daily knitting photos. You know yourself, if you're on Instagram, you probably have noticed that too. Obviously there's ways of reporting photos, and their Instagram is quite quick. In 24 hours, less than 24 hours, they basically scan a link from one photo, original one, to the one that it was copied, and obviously program recognize faces and everything like that, and can say that this is exactly the same one. It was a pity for me because they were taking my giveaways photos, you know, when I was running giveaways, so I'm very hesitant to do that on Instagram now, and yeah, that's why it hasn't happened for a while over that, and I'm not sure will I do that. So then I was thinking that maybe YouTube is a safe zone to have fun, and unfortunately it isn't. And even though everyone is very aware of copyrights and not using music that has license and everything like that, so I thought this platform is quite enough safe if everyone is saying things like that, so probably YouTube checks stuff like this. But unfortunately it seems that it doesn't. Lately, maybe on the screen I'm going to show you, so maybe I scoop over here. I can show you that there is account over here, the name that uploads all my uploads all my videos from this channel. I presume it's a person. I'm not saying it's a female or male, because, you know, even though it says this way, it may be completely different. But it looks that there's some kind of program was set that downloads my videos with my thumbnails and straight away downloads it on that account. I haven't watched any of these, maybe just the beginning, to see if it's at the beginning is the same, and it is. I haven't watched till the end, so I'm not sure is there any edit information at the end of my video. And I heard about it when I was in Poland on my almost the last day when we were coming back. Seb said not to worry about it, just, you know, just leave it, you know. I'm saying that I'm knitting I love, so people should be aware that they're on different channel. However, I got a wave of information on Instagram from you lads who are on Instagram, because I hope, well, not everyone is on it, but if you do, some of you sended me a message that someone is taking my videos, and there was one message that, have I checked description box under the videos that they're putting, and just to be aware, that's why now I will be saying in my videos to double check that you are our Knitting I Love channel, because description on those on this account basically tells you to subscribe, like, and donate money to certain link. So they're basically using my videos, my person, because I'm here on videos. It's not only pretty forest or anything like that. I'm personally here with you, and I want to interact with you. And they're using and taking that my content for their own benefit, and it looks for more financial benefit too. So just aware of you, and if you could pass a message, because I know if you're watching, you now know, but because those videos are there on the research on the search, in the search button, anyone have access to them, and they do not know is it me or is not me. On videos it's me, but you know what I'm saying. Obviously I'm reporting it to YouTube, and I'm trying my best. Unfortunately some of the features are not accessible. There's one about privacy, and unfortunately when you click on it, it doesn't go to any form or anything like that, so I'm telling you straight away now. So what I'm doing, you can do it on both ways. You can click next to subscription button to the channel that breaks the copyrights or impersonates person. I think that's where we're leading over here, if someone literally rips all my videos. And then over there is information, do you know the channel that this content has been taken, or in my case, because I'm doing that, I'm informing that this channel is taking my videos. And unfortunately I can only tick 5 at one time, I think, per day. But you know, as I said, it looks like the program is doing it, because I don't believe there's a person literally spending 48 hours, 24 hours and doing that. It's uploading quicker than I can report, and at the moment YouTube doesn't do anything about it. So it may stay like that. I just want to warn you not to donate any money. I have never asked for donation or patrons or anything like that. Hopefully I won't need to do that. At the moment, if you want to support me, you can go to Ravelry, which is quite a safe platform. You can find Knitting I Love. I'm there as a designer too, under my name and surname, which is Barbara Nalewko, which is Barbara Nalewko, and I'll try to put links down below, but you can search that too, obviously. And you can support me that way, or go to my shop, which is on knittingILove.com website, and you can see what kind of goodies I have in my shop that you might be interested to get. Yeah, I think that's all, in case someone would want to support me. And I'm so grateful for every order I send and for every pattern you buy. The other way also that you could kind of support me too is by subscribing to Knit Crate boxes. Knit Crate is giving 20% off when you use KAL20 under the unboxing videos if you're watching on Knitting I Love channel. You can find a link. Knit Crate, it's so great. You can go through that affiliate link, or you just use the code, and they also know by that you came through me, and that way they support me from their pocket to send me a bit. It's not a lot, but it's always something, and I'm so grateful they're sending me boxes, and I can open yarn, show you yarn, and I can knit with a really amazing yarn. So I'm sorry for that whole thing, and let me know what you think about that. Obviously, if you had a spare time and you would not mind report that channel, I will not put link down below to it, because that would kind of connects me with it, and YouTube is not a person, is a machine. So that could be that I approve that, and I do not approve that. So you may know how I feel, and it looks kind of that my emotions are drawn or shown in my knitting. If you have watched this channel for a while, I may have only 3 or 4 whips on the go, maybe 5 would be something, but now let's see how much I have. So I'm in a pretty bad state, but but at the same time it happened when I'm doing a really good deed, so maybe that's the balance in life anyway. But more about it, I can share you a bit what I'm doing. I know I had to, as a woman, just talk about it to a few of my friends, my digital friends out there that I have never met in person, but we have a connection for a few months now, so I'm so happy about it. I may share a bit with you too, so you have a gist that although I'm doing so many things, I'm doing something extra too. Right, I'm so sorry about it, but life has happened, and I just want to warn you that you're not going to click on anything or give money to anything. And if it happened to me, it can happen to anyone. So just be aware. If you follow other YouTube accounts, to just be sure that you show that the videos shows in your feed, that they're not on the home. Probably it's over that home thing, because that will be recommendations, and because you watch similar content, and that content can show again. So that's probably how people notice it, because those videos were shown as a recommendation for you to watch next, and someone was so amazing and noticed that it's not my channel. So thank you so much. There were so many of you that I couldn't write. If I wrote down, I just sent you a heart. That's all I could do. I was kind of bumped too, so I don't know. Well, let's leave it. Life is life, and it's all about how you deal with the situation, and look at the bright side. So as someone wrote it down to me, that, you know, the bright side is they probably see my content as an amazing one, that's why they're taking it. So that's a good thing. Obviously my account is not the biggest account in the knitting community, so hard to say why. Okay, so let's start with some knitting things and other bits and my holidays, so I can share a bit with you more. And let's start with what I'm wearing. So I'm wearing this beautiful sweater. On the screen you can see I have a finished object video, so if you don't know, on this channel, Knitting I Love channel, you can see that I have a playlist and I have like hats, socks, sweaters. So you can find, sorry, I think I have it under garments. You can find it there, and it's a little bit of a I don't know, a relationship that went one way and another. I actually tried to follow one pattern with cables, and as you can see, I don't have any cables. Life happens. It's not 100% alpaca. I think it's 35% wool, 65 alpaca, or 65 wool, 35. I'm now completely, but I probably would need, hopefully you don't see it, but it's kind of pills now a bit, but it gets that really nice, soft, fluffy things from the moment you knitted with it. But now you may see it's kind of, you know, it would need some love and attention. I don't own any tools like that, so we shall see what I'm going to do in the future. I created just modified, it wasn't until I just played with the ribbing over here just to get it that way, and I really like it. As you can see, I'm wearing something new. I got it in Poland. It is traditional, which means that you could see people wearing it, but I'm adding folk, so only in the folk area of Poland. So if someone is wearing a folk clothes, and normally you do that when you're performing, you're on the stage or anything like that, so I'm not sure would you notice people wearing these like that every day, especially it is something like reminds Poland. At least it reminds me. If you're from a different country and you have something similar, let me know, because I know some people from other countries watch me too. What do you think? Oh, I'm sorry about my hair because I just washed them and I need a hat just to cover it, right? So I love it so much. It kind of reminds me from where I'm from, and my heritage, and especially the thing that I'm doing. Anyway, that'd be at the end. So probably that's why I bought it, because I got very emotional. I get very emotional lately. And you will know why at the end. So anyway, this is what I wear. I got these in the airport on the way to Ireland. So that's my last purchase that I made, and I'm very happy about it. It cost 24 złotych, which is approximately €6, and you may have seen something like that on the market. I may have seen like that something in the market too, but I haven't paid attention how much it cost in market in Zakopane, because that will be the area that you could see that, and I really like it. I think it gives a really nice contrast and would be perfect for videos, because I'm not sure would I be brave enough to wear it outside. Maybe during the events when I go to Edinburgh and stuff, that would be like my flag a bit. Oh well, I've been living in Ireland for over 12 years. I presume I should have something extra Irish over here too. I need to get something green. I'm so sorry about my hair. Okay, so this, I think that's all that I'm wearing. I got myself a different necklace too. You may have seen it on my finished object videos, which I posted just after coming back from Poland, but you will see it in a while I'll be talking about what's up my needles. And the next thing that I do would be in the jar section, and I was on holidays. I was so busy, then this YouTube thing hit me, and basically I haven't paid attention too much. Am I watching someone new? I think we have September. I'm not really sure. Should I draw on someone new from the jar, to be honest? So it's here and there. I don't have even the real show notes or anything like that. But no worries. The month is still, the month hasn't ended yet, so hopefully I will record the next episode, and if I kind of grip, you know, sort out everything, then I will draw a podcaster from the jar. Has anyone contacted me from the last one? Unfortunately, no. So we move on. Okay, let's have fun and see what's off my needles. So let's start with the videos that I posted on my channel, which is Knitting I Love, just letting you know. And what I like to do, if you're watching this video for the first time, I'm also adding some finished object videos when I'm talking a bit more about each knitwear or hat or anything like that. I think knitwear is also a hat, isn't it? That I finished, and I put some vlogs too. Alright, so I'm on my channel now. That's what I do. I go on my phone and I'm just checking. And what I can notice, this channel, Knitting I Love channel, reached over 7,000 subscribers. So thank you so much for subscribing, just to show you over here. I don't know where you're watching. Thank you so much for subscribing, and I'm really grateful and happy that you do. Last episode was episode 63. And after that we have this video, which is clay patterned sock. I know I showed you finished object video in the last episode, longer chit chat, so something like this, and but I haven't recorded it, and now I've recorded it so you can have a look and listen everything. And I like to do it that way because sometimes when I say a few things here I forget, and I can just add a bit. So do I have to add anything over here I may have missed while I was recording finished object video? I don't remember. Too many things were happening, and I'm just so confused. But I'm going with the idea to knit another pair definitely, and then mixed socks to match them. So in a while, no, I haven't cast it on. In a while maybe I'm going to do that. And then I finish another socks, and here on the screen, Regia aquarium socks, and DK yarn. First time on this channel you could have seen, or maybe not first time. I actually knitted socks with a bulky yarn. That was, I think, my first video, finished object video on playlist, which is, you know, check playlist socks. And it's bulky yarn. I think it was even acrylic, and I think my mom has it and she loves them. Yeah. So here they are on the screen. I use 2.75 millimeter needles, which is US size 2. I use Chagoo needles because those Chagoo needles were added to one of the crate boxes. That was a big shock when you find needles in the box. I can't wait to cast on another pair. This pair was for Seb, so I already gifted that to him. You can go on my Instagram. You can go on Instagram and check it out. Hopefully I did that. I'm very active on stories on Instagram, definitely, for sure. And I will encourage you to do that. I'm not really good in vlogging. I'm not saying I wouldn't like that. It's just I have a full-time job too, and everything needs time with recording and then posting. Something that I can share with you, or you could benefit from. I like to record every daily thing, life, and encouragement to maybe go out and walk. That's on Instagram stories. So yeah, I can't wait to cast on a new pair. It takes 56 stitches for Seb. He put it on eventually and it fitted him well. I did 50 rounds from the toe to the heel. Maybe I would add an extra 2. Maybe I'll go 55 rounds. We shall see. I'll let him. He will be wearing those socks for a while, so she'll see if they're stretch a bit. They look kind of snugged, but they looked like fitted. So we shall see how it goes. And like I said, 56 stitches in fingering weight is a pair for me. So I'm, you know, less stitches, nicer, quicker. And I was knitting them one at a time, so they were flying. At least, you know, from psychology perspective, not having only one is not having two that you need to work on. Very hush words, isn't it? Work on, knit on, enjoy, yeah. Enjoy two at the same time. Sounds better, isn't it? Okay, so what is the next video? And next video on the screen you can see Seb over here and me over here when we just posing nicely just in front of the highest peak. Maybe it's not the highest, but it's quite a height and popular peak, which is called Gewand. And as you can see, it's very far away, so we had to walk in the quite almost around to get there. Quite a bit walking, and I show you over there a few bits. Now about that vlog, I got a few comments, so maybe I can answer some or answer more, because I try to reply to every comment. You know, if there's like a question or like longer a bit. So right, we spent 2 days in our town, and then we went to Zakopane. Before we went to Zakopane, we did the blood test, you know, just to check yourself. And I'm telling that to you on the vlog. So that's main stuff why we try to go to Poland every year also. It's because of the health system. I know it's private, but at least you get results next day, or depends on the test you're doing. And those tests needs more days than in just few days. And it's so cool because when you get your results, you also get a table that at your age, minimum and maximum norms you have on the side, and even if you're lazy like that, you will have H or L, so literally in English, high or low. So if you're higher than a norm, it will be pointed out, and if you're lower than a norm, it will be pointed out too. So even like that. Other ones could be plus or minus, which will be the same thing. You will have like your norms, and then you have plus and minus, so quite easy to follow. And obviously everything is in English, so you know, red blood cell would be like RBC. So quite simple. And so that cost approximately, you know, with a big test we just did like 5 pages, approximately €100, which comparing to here, it's a very, very cheap. In Ireland, if you want to do stuff, I think it will cost you way more. But you know, don't compare 5 million people country to 40 million country. More people buy stuff, cheaper it gets, I think, or it's a bigger competition, I think. So anyway, that's why Poland is quite popular for Polish people to go, because we're very conscious about our health. At least I think that way. I don't know, if you're Polish, let me know down below what do you think about it. I'm just seeing everything from my experience and perspective. It could be that too, so don't take my word for it. But anyway, that's why we are doing it, and if those tests at some point are not the way they should, then we go to doctor. And unfortunately, those tests, if we bring them to Ireland, are not accepted. So it looks that doctors would not, maybe let's say that way, don't feel comfortable, and they prefer to do their own ones. But as I mentioned there, it takes 6 months to 7 months to you know, I did a few tests, blood tests over here, and I'm still waiting. I think I have an appointment in January, but I think they squeezed me into December. So we have September now, so we shall see how my levels be then. So it's a little bit funny for me. Well, funny, not funny. So now, but you know, I'm at this stage, I'm 35-year-old, and you have to take care of yourself, you know, not young anymore. I know. I know. Some of you is like, come on, you're so young. If you knew how old I am. Definitely my friend. So anyway, I went to Poland to kind of, so we went to Zakopane to chill out, go hiking and mountains and open space and beauty and nature and food and tradition and folk and yarn and sheep, and oh, it's just an amazing place. So we like to go there and unwind, and we spend an amazing amazing time in an amazing place. You can check it out. It's Villa Bacerka, and I put GPS coordinates with anything that I can and show you, you know, so you may have a gist where we were. You could see before we went to Zakopane, we passed Oświęcim, which you may know from the name Auschwitz, and that's German name of that town. And I was passing concentration camp 1. There are 2. This one's was smaller one. And you know, some people say, why would I you know, talk about it more? Like I said, I didn't go in there and I didn't do like a proper visit or anything like that. And talking through the perspective of a person, I know it makes sense and kind of sends a message. I'm not sure would I be a good person to do that. I don't find myself to being a good orator. I think that's the word, isn't it? A person who speaks beautifully about things. And because it's still like an open wound for some people. For instance, you know, the next thing that we went to, and you can see on our vlog, is a beautiful castle where in ruin, but now tried to be rebuilt. Tension Castle. It was in ruin for so many years because Polish history is quite difficult. I'm sure would you be one to listen about it, and especially I'm not a historian, so I may mix facts. And so anyway, just to kind of give you a glimpse, we had World War II in Poland from 1939 to 1945, and we went to communism systems, so we were kind of taken care of by Russians, and the system and everything was slightly different. And if you want to have an idea what it was, you can watch way back. I always recommend that movie to everyone. And there is a very famous Irish actor, Colin Farrell, playing over there. He did a really great job, and you can kind of get a gist of for something simple you can, or even a lie, you can, your life could be, could look completely different that time. Well, probably these days not so much has changed. Maybe has changed a lot, but maybe it's not so drastic, but you can also destroy someone's life quite simple these days anyway too. Yeah, so I would say watch that. It shows that even though World War II was over, the main character is not, can kind of come back for a while until 1989, when in Germany the wall is destroyed and the bit starts kind of going into democracy and slightly get better. But example of the castle is that eventually that castle was given back to owners 2 years ago, so in 2016. So when the war is over and everything like that. So and according to the tour guide, you know, they were trying to get it, but the answer from the country was no. Because basically after World War II, all the possessions were divided to people and taken from others, and there was a constant, you know, people were in a very, very difficult situation trying to find their heritage. People had to, you know, escape from the country, go to different countries. Some of them were actually changing names and surnames and everything. They were pretending to be completely different people. So it's very hard to point it out. And that's why I'm saying, because I'm actually helping a person now to find heritage thanks to GDPR, so General Data Protection Regulations. You know, every age person have bigger chances to reach to archive and papers, and it is by law informed that you should receive it, and you know, some people could be on a coffee break and stuff like that, or you know, would not bother to do stuff. So hoping that everything will be fine. I'm like I said, I'm helping a person to in that area, and I start doing that on my day before left Poland, day before we left Poland on our holidays. So I got access to some papers and stuff, and because I speak English, as you can hear, I can write letters to embassies and stuff like that, asking for information about certain people who are dead at the moment or died lately, and so on and so on. So I'm helping. And I hope you're supporting me in that. I'm not saying that I'll be doing that all the time. It's just happened, and I'm a good person, and it really doesn't cost me that much. Well, it costs now me loads of time, but it's not difficult for me to do, I would think, and hope for the best that whoever receives letters from you know, will be so kind and help out. I know, it's, I said it's going, just warning, I'll probably do warning even before, it's going to be very behind the scenes things. So I was quite busy with that, and then I got information about YouTube and stuff, so I think balance in life or something, I don't know, you want to do a good thing, something bad is happening to you. So anyway, that vlog is it's a bit of that, and you may notice that I mentioned in the vlog that I haven't had time to knit or record anything because I was busy doing that, and you could have probably seen in my face that I'm not so fresh and cheerful and you know, refreshed after holidays. I actually came back tired, and I'm fighting not to get sick actually, so loads of garlic. Anyway, so just watch that video, just that vlog, and you will know something behind the scenes. Obviously I don't want to share some information, but I'm reaching to countries like Germany, Sweden, Denmark. And I can tell you that probably in 2019 we will be going to Copenhagen, to Denmark. It's probably for sure we'll be going there just to visit that country. Yeah, so if you, I can say you more, but if you had a similar situation, or I know I have to write down to Red Cross about it. Maybe they were dealing with that. I don't know if you had any similar situations, or you knew someone who anyway, it's so hard to say, and I can't share a lot with you from obvious reasons, but at least I wanted to glimpse over here what's happening behind the scenes, so that's why I'm casting on so much. I'm under pressure. You will see loads of whips, because that's just yeah, I think knitting for me, it's like I always compare it to the Pavlov. I don't know, do you know Pavlov syndrome, or whatever you call? It was a guy who did a test with the dogs that I'm not sure exact, so I could be a little bit wrong in that area, but it was that he noticed that the saliva was activated when dogs knew that at a certain time they're going to get food. So it's like something that unconsciously in your body is activated to prepare you for the things that's going to happen. So basically knitting is something like that for me. Knitting is something that I can relax when I have a safe environment for myself. I can chill out, I can watch podcasts, and I'm so happy with it. But at the same time, I'm using knitting as a trigger. So in case I'm in the stress situation and people advise not to go emotional with it, just go to a different room, just take a few breaths. And I wouldn't be a person who can take a few breaths. Maybe I am now, but I like to do a few rounds on whatever project I have. And without me doing this, my body switches and activates something. I don't know, hard to explain, but I would say try it. You know, probably that's why there are things about like eating disorder, probably eating works the same way, that if someone in a stress situation or anything like that, I believe it means the same thing. I'm sorry, I'm going to all the science things. I'm not a scientist. But basically this is what happens to me, and I believe in it. So at the same time, I'm consciously going to get those needles and do a few rounds just to believe in it. And if you believe in it, it happens. So then, in spite of that, I said in the last episode that I was doing something that's going on in the thread Unraveling Knitting I Love, which is, I call it hashtag love hate licorice swap, but it's not about that so much, it's just that initiated it. I showed you that before. I have a box of Phuket teas, and most of them, all of them, contain licorice. I'm not a fan of it. Not a fan, Lily. Not a fan. I'm kidding. Because she sent it to me some 3 Phuket teas with licorice. So fun. Anyway, I tried it. You know, it's not that, you know, I'm allergic to it or anything like that. It just tastes differently. You know, it's just that. So it was fun. So I could kind of rate it, and I told you on stories or even our archive, you can see my rating of teas, because I thought, you know what, why not? I'll have fun doing it. It will be my love tea note thing. So yeah, so I figured out that I could do a small swaps with you, which involve 3 tea bags. It doesn't, you know, it could be anything. It could be from something from your region, something from your own country, you know, that I can taste and I'm not able to get it over here. And what else? Like, I'm doing this, you know, because I'm not going to drink it. If I don't have to, I will send it to good hands who are actually enjoying it and loving it, because that's what it needs. So yeah, you can send that, and then 60 grams of yarn minis. So you can go 3 by 20 grams, you can go 6 by 10 grams, you can go 4 by 15 grams, you can go 12 by 5 grams. I hope I'm doing right math over here. Hopefully it ends up being 60 grams, and you can knit something with it. And as you know me, if you go to my playlist, the most finished object videos I have in the hat section. I don't know why. They make me fun, you know. You create something and you can put on your heads, and I feel that I look better in a hat. May not be true, but I believe in it, so that's enough for me. And second of all, any beautiful yarn that in the dye can be visible. Phone call. And I love it so much. I've swapped first with Erin. I mentioned that in the last episode from the NV Knitting podcast. I think that's the order. I think I made a mistake last time, but you had a proper links down below. Which is this one, and obviously you have it on the screen now. There is a finished object video about it, and I explained you more about the swap, about the idea, where to go, what to write. I even show you on the screen the examples and so on and so on. So if you want to do it, come and join us. You do not have to knit a hat. It can be for blankets, can be everything. You can actually even write down what kind of minis you would wish to receive. You know, like you're doing a blanket and you just need 12 by 5 grams, you know, and so on and so on. The idea is not to go over 99 grams overall with your package. So it is quite challenging, because sometimes we want to squeeze even more. And it is, you know, it's nice, and, you know, I think everyone can afford it, and it doesn't put any more pressure or anything that on anyone, because some people have more yarn, some not, and this will be like so cool, so nice. I love the idea that someone knitted with the yarn that we're receiving, so we have that connection. We can start conversation about what did you actually knitted with it. I try to write down what I knitted with mine, and because it's so handy for me to have a YouTube channel. I just say like, oh, I knitted near the sea hat, check my finished object video, you know, and by watching me, you know, it's a playlist, go to hats, and it will be there. And if you know the content, the blend, the colorway, and everything like that, you find it over there. So I'm not saying that everyone has to do it, but that's why I love it. Obviously you can do other way around if you do, and I do that too. I never linked to my project page on Ravelry, but check it out. You can have all the projects there too, you know, in the one, something like this. So I can take a print screen and I can show you on the screen now, for instance, what's the story is now over there. So yeah, so I knitted a hat, and I'm like kind of eager to do like socks and everything like that, but when I get it, it just calls me for a hat. I'm not saying we're going to be hat every time, but at the moment this is it. So this is the one I finished, and this is the one that you have in the finished object video. So you know what, I feel better wearing a hat, so let's go wear a hat. Just for a bit. So here, this one is 6 by 20 grams. We have 3 colors over here, 1, 2, and 3. I have some left over, so it's not that you have to have 20 grams. And that was my idea, and it is on that Ravelry thread that I'll be giving 50% of this pattern. But when I was chatting, and I have my test knitters, and I have a lovely friend who's pushing me to spread my wings in the designing process, she said that I could literally do a collection. And I've never done a collection before, so this is going to be my first one. And the idea is that this hat, this texture, there's 3 sections over here, just slightly different. Maybe not different, it's kind of the same, but slightly different texture over there going on. That's going along. And then we have sections of colors that you need to put. So the pattern, the first variation will be a 60 gram let's swap hat, then we will have 3 by 20 grams let's swap hat, and we'll have 6 by 10 grams let's swap hat. I'm not doing 12 by 5 grams, I'm sorry, but when I record finish object video, because I finish a hat 6 by 10, I'm going to show you that in a sec. I'll maybe just include how you do it if you would want to go 12 by 5. So anyway, this is going to happen in the future. What's happening behind the scenes? Still, my test knitters are knitting. If you want to try any of these, as a thank you, I'm going to give full collection to the test knitters. But if you want to just knit one, that's fine. If you want to knit more, and I have such amazing friends that they want to knit more, and I thank you so much. And they're so fast knitters, faster than me. Can you believe it? Yeah. Yeah, so I'll be gifting that as a thank you for test knitting. So yeah, so this is it. And then we have a next video, and after all that thing, now that you know what has happened behind the scene, it's such good to receive some yarn, isn't it? So this is what I like about Knit Crate, and about any subscription actually. It doesn't have to be a Knit Crate. Any subscription that you can afford is so good, because once in a month you will get something, and it feels like a present, something that, like a pat in the bag. You did a really good job this month. And I know there are so many women still out there that are not appreciated for the work they're doing for their family, and you know, they're begging to be appreciated and thanked for the whole work. It's just somehow it's taken for what's the word, for granted, and that they're doing it, and that's norm. And basically they're just wrecked after the whole day. Are you like that? Do you feel connected with the words that I'm just saying? This is something really good. If you can afford, that'd be really great. I'm not saying Knit Crate may not be for you, but there are other subscriptions, and I may have the privilege to open one. I don't know when and if it's ever going to happen, but I can just tell you that. So hopefully. I love opening and showing to you because it gives you an option, and I love Knit Crate too because they have collaboration with the indie dyers, and they have their own in-house brand, so obviously it's slightly cheaper, and they're doing an amazing job, and I really like the quality and the blend, and yeah, they put hard into it and then try to get it better. And since I've been receiving them, I see their development and everything like that, and as a person who owns a little online shop, I'm like, well, I'm a one-person business person, so I wish I could do more. Anyway, so that's that. They're so generous that they're giving us 20% off for subscription, so you can use that if you want to. And there are a few people out there, a few podcasters who open those boxes, and they also suggest you 20% because Knit Crates are giving individual discounts for individual ambassadors. That's how you call it, I think. A person who supports them too by bringing, you know, people towards them, and then they're sending a bit of support, our way. So feel free to subscribe and use any codes from anyone, because that always helps someone. It does not affect the price for buying subscription for you. It's just Knit Crates from their pockets give something to us. Amazing yarn, and maybe you would want to see it. Obviously I could not resist, and I used one skein and I started knitting. shocking, a hat. Anyway, I'm going to show you yarn. So here is a Knit Crate membership. I got this color. Oh, I haven't thought about it. And this is fingering, and we have a mixture of 70% superwash merino, 20 silk, and 10% cashmere, so it's quite nice. And the last time with the cashmere, I knitted a beautiful pullover. So I'm thinking this red would be quite, I know I was laughing in the video that it could be something in regards a red hat, and apparently in Britain there was some thinking that if you wear a red hat, apparently you don't wear knickers. Nothing, I've never heard anything like that in my country. So you have something in your mind or on your mind. Anyway, so yes, I was thinking that with red it would be really cool if I could have a grey yarn and do like a Christmas jumper, don't you think? Like it would look really nice with snowflakes or anything like that, if that would be a yoke. Oh. And obviously I'm getting two, and normally with the yoke I can use it like, you know, fingering, and probably I will use just one. With the DK, even if I connect the strand together, I will have enough for like an upper section, because I've knitted two yokes now. Humula sweater on the screen, I knitted this one, and then I knitted arboreal, this one, and also it kind of looks that you need 1/3 of the whole garment. So I think that will be enough. Let me know what do you think about it, and I think it would look beautiful if I had a grey yarn or dark grey. I may have it, but it's completely different content, and I don't know, maybe we'll go with it. But what I like is when contrast color is slightly thicker than original. I'm not sure would that be a case. I would have to check anyway. So that was Knit Crate membership, and it comes with 2 patterns, knitted and crocheted patterns, and now with beautiful booklets. Then I got this, which is Artisan Crate. This is the most expensive one because you get a goodie with it, and this is Indie Dyer. So this is like 1 knit, 1 crochet 2, and we have a quite interesting blend. I've never touched it or knitted with it, which is linen, silk, and hemp. I need to check what that is. So anyway, I was thinking to the offer for them, you know, also in the box also includes 2 patterns, knitted patterns, and one is for beginners, one is for improvers. What I want to knit with it, I'm not sure when I'm going to do it, but at least with one. I'm not sure how many I would need though. I'd have to check it. I have few of the favorites on my Reverly account. You can go check my favorites. You know, I have them sorted by types. I want to knit a bag, you know, like a shopping bag. If you're looking for that, that would be under other like things, but I have other, so you can check it out. So, and there are a few even free patterns, knitted and crocheted. So, yellow bag. And I got some goodies. So I want to tell you what included in this box. Just check the video, and there are timestamps under that video too, so you can skip to the box you want to look at. So yeah, go check that video. And there's one more box that I got, and I normally get Sock Crate membership, a box where you have one skein for your fingering, weight yarn, and a pattern. And somehow I got Artisan Sock Crate, which, you know, Artisan, as I said, it's a collaboration with the Indie Dyer, and I got one skein and a beautiful pattern. And beautiful pattern. Did I say that? A beautiful pattern. I'm going to, I think, knit it. I'm going to show you in a while, because actually I'm using it as a bookmark. So maybe in the other section I have something extra for you today. So yes, and I'm knitting a hat because the yarn is so pretty. I can't, if I knit socks, I want to wear them, and if they're so pretty that I don't want to because they're special. But I prefer hat because I can definitely wear a hat and I can expose whatever beautiful work someone else's does. So yeah, I'm going to show that in the section whips if you're interested. So that's that. And then I finished another hat. Well, actually I finished that hat during my holidays, which was amazing, whatever we were doing, and I was able to finish hat. I think I have a sneak peek of that. I also finished this hat during the holidays, and I don't have any footage of this hat being knitted during that vlog, so I'm apologizing for that straight away, but I can show you the one that it's on this screen now, and it looks like this. And you all say that the yarn is beautiful, that I should wear more blue because I have a blue eyes, I think I have a blue eyes, and so on and so on, and I love it so much. I now know, because when I was recording, I don't know, it took 46 grams to knit, so I have another 54 grams left. Hello. But then I want to have some yarn for swaps, so you may get some bit of that, or this. So yeah, this is my design. I hope to write a pattern. I know under the video you are saying that you want to be my test knitters. My heart is happy, so if you want to test knit this hat, just write it down or PM me on Instagram. I like to do my test knits on Instagram, so you would have to be an Instagram user, because I create like a secret group and we're hanging there knitting. So yeah, I love it so much. I call it a silent castle because I was in the stage emotionally touched by everything happening around me, and I just felt connection to the castle that we watched, and that's basically what it is. I know the video is like 20 minutes long. Well, I recorded for 20, I chop it up during editing, and there was more that I saved you from watching. Okay, so, and this is yarn. It is from the previous Knit Crate unboxing, so August, and this one, this is their in-house, I'm sorry, in-house yarn, and it is non-superwash. So you have wool, and I think you have, I'm guessing now, I know there's Peruvian Highland wool there, merino, and then you have nylon 20%. But anyway, you have 40, 40, 20, something like that. 40s are wool, and then you have 20 nylon. And it's beautiful, it's amazing, and I really like it, and it gives that kind of rustic but not too much. By this you could feel that this is kind of, there is like a wax on it or something, and here not. But it's not scratchy. Love it. And if you received your Knit Crate boxes and you want to share the yarn and you want to show me what you're knitting, please do. I'm so happy to see that, you know, you're getting your boxes and you're doing nice stuff with the yarn you get. I'm so bad, and I'm saying it out loud, in regards knitting patterns from the boxes, because my personal, you know, if I'm in this state that I'm just, everything is going on, following patterns, it's like extra work for me, and I prefer just to let my needles do whatever they want, and you get patterns like whatever I design. So thank you so much for your support, and if you want to check, I'm going to put links to my paid for and free patterns, so you can go and make my heart sink. Whichever of those two you pick and knit, it will be a pleasure and honor that you're knitting my patterns. Thank you so much. So don't forget just to tag me so I can do a happy dance, and tell my mom. All right. Okay, that's all in regards to videos that you could have seen, and now we're going to the finished object that I'm going to record and post in the near future. And as I mentioned in the Silent Castle hat finished object video, the next video is going to be my socks. I'll be taking bags from there now and putting on the ground, so in a while it's going to be empty. My bag, I made it quickly, and I have my keychains. You can find them in my shop, and in here we have a finished object. This yarn was taken, did I pass it on in Poland, or probably maybe started in Poland, I'm not sure actually, but I knitted them in Poland and finished them in Poland. I was actually thinking, should I start a new pair in Poland, because obviously I have some leftovers, and this is comfort, and this is a comfort yarn. And it was so funny, when I was editing the vlog, I was in the plane and I'm saying, oh, I have my comfort yarn with me, and I understood it that you know, the yarn overall is a comforting thing, but luckily I was showing a label. Yeah, it is comfort. So here it is. You could actually see how it knits up. So I'm quite interested in the more of this colorways, because I really like the way it knits up. And I was so lucky, so lucky. You probably know I'm a big fan of Bakery Bears and I'm following them. So probably I'm not a fan #1, but I'm somewhere over there because I think I rewatched their episodes. Yes. Yeah. But I think I started watching them in episode 64 or 63. Just before you can watch Amber from Yarn Hoarder podcast. So that was my first one. And I watched them now, and I was kind of going back and watching them. I love their episodes, they're amazing. I would love to create a similar content. But life. Back to the yarn. So basically when I went for my walk, I go for my walks, and also I go for my walks because of the Bakery Bears and their beautiful kind of challenge. Challenge, that's a big word. You can do literally 5 minutes walk and you could be joining us, and you don't have to be the knitter. It's about walking, and it's a group for walkers, group for knitters. I also am there too. But then you have to be a patron for that. But anyway, for the walk, I went for a walk, and I won't bore you about, you know, what you need to do to join. And if you're interested, just go to Dan and ask him. He will probably give you better information than I do. But during the walk, I went on Instagram, and I noticed that Kay was destashing some yarn, and I got 5 balls of commercial yarn, but she included 2 mini skeins, beautiful ones. And you know what, I'll show you. Why not brag a bit? So I got also these, and they're sparkle, so beautiful. I would love to knit a hat. They're 20 grams each, can you believe? So that's very generous. And they're waiting for a special project for me to knit, and if you hear me special project, that's mean hat. And as you know, I need approximately 60 grams. Well, you know, I knitted with 45, so let's be safe, and I need 55 grams. So I need an extra sparkle yarn. So I have 15 grams, so let's be safe, 20. Something that will go along with this. And as you can see, it's very autumn colors, very calming colors, and oh, just beautiful, isn't it? And I got a badge. Oh, so nice, so nice. And at the moment I'm hoarding, looking at all the fan club does, right? And so yeah, I finished socks, and I'm going to talk about them more. Just to let you know, I knit them both two at a time, toes up, my standard recipe. And I know you were asking me to maybe write down a pattern, free pattern or Ravelry, because I did that tutorial, which is almost an hour long. Tell me, what do you think about it? Should I write it down? Whoever watched that tutorial, let me know, because if you watch it, you would know if anything like that exists on Ravelry, because I'm not really sure. But how pretty. I love it so much. And you know, I'm a gift knitter, but these are going to be for me because I feel I have a special connection with Kay and Dan, and yeah. And they were talking in one episode about folding, so it should be like this, and you should stuck them in the drawer like that. I should clean my drawer. My pouch, just to show you, why not? This is my product which you can find in my shop. I don't make them, if you think I do. I designed them, and it is laser cut, just in case you're thinking. I'm actually thinking about my shop lately. I don't have a time to do anything with it at the moment, and probably that's why I'm thinking of it. If I have a time, I'm thinking about knitting. So yeah, that's one. It will take long, so there will be part 2 definitely. And then I finished another thing. I knitted it in 2 days. So basically I finished that yesterday. So quite fast. I took a bag. This bag I got from Davix the Design, a Canadian designer. She is she was a podcaster, so you can definitely find maybe still her videos there. But now when she designs something, she puts a really nice finished object video, and she talks about the you know, design as much as she can, and I love it so much. But you can literally see, you know, being used. So right, and must knit. Just to speed things up, but it's a hat. I just run out of my own hat keychains. Right, so here it is. It's a Let's Swap hat, so it's quite similar to this one. And this one was knitted 3 by 20 grams minis. This is knitted with 6 by 10 grams minis. So I come closer. So here is I'm going to record for this object video, and I'm going to tell you more about the yarn that I used, but quickly if you're interested, and you can check it out. This yarn, this mini, is from my Near the Sea hat, my pattern, so on the screen now. This okay, you got it, brilliant. Now we have this mini I got from Joanna. Once Joanna sent me a winning prize. I won something from Joanna for stitching the high notes, and she sent me a mini, and I was hoarding it for like literally a year or something. And eventually I added over here, so this beauty is here. And then I'm going into Green Elephant yarns. I knitted a hat with it on the screen, so you can check it out. And then we have K yarns, so Bakery Bears. I knitted socks with it, so check it out on the screen when I knitted with it. And then you have another one over here, and I knitted Scottish land hat with it, so on the screen. And then we have this amazing one, as you can see, and it is from Knit Crate, and I knitted socks with it, so on the screen now. So all the minis that I have over here, probably just one from Joanna. I haven't knitted anything because most of them are from the big skein, and this one was mini already, as a gift. So I have 2 podcasters over here, Joanna and Kate. So happy to want to be put on. Well, you can see I have some ends to do. I want to put my tags. As you can see, I have a bigger one. But for my folded, I love my folding. You probably see it now that I'm knitting them all the time the same way, because I love the way I look in them, and they give kind of feminine touch for a hat. And here I can use my tags that you can find in my shop too, with a sheep. So I can't wait to do that. You may notice I have loads of ends, because some of those minis, I didn't have them in the 10 grams. I had them in the 5 grams. Actually, one only of those minis I had in the 10 grams, Joanna's one, and the rest was like split to 5s. So I have a bit to do, don't you think? You want me to? Yeah, put it on. Because the story with the minis and the hats, they don't look as pretty when I'm holding them or put flat and take a photo, but they really look amazing when you put them on. Or even like my test knit, it has a fake head, and it was just amazing the way the color she picked. Right. I'm sorry about my extra yarn bits over here. So here it is how it looks. I think it's so cool. I'm going to use it for my walks, and I know it's not a thick hat, it is fingering, but this is a perfect hat for Ireland. In Ireland it's not as cold as it is windy, and if I didn't have a wind I may have survived walking, but my sinuses and stuff, when I get hit by the wind, you know, the temperature could be not as low, but if you have a wind that kind of ends up a little bit. It drops the temperature, like the one that you feel and actually is, if that makes sense. So let me know, what do you think about it? I was thinking to do a gradient like I did over here, right? It looks like it's going through it, but I knew that I don't have minis that will go so smoothly with it. So instead of trying to do that and fail, I was thinking to go with a stripy effect. So this is what you can see, and that way also when I take a photo for that variation of a hat, so in the collection, you kind of have a glimpse when did I do what and so on. And as I said, it's not only a color information when you change, but also the texture also changed. We have 3 sections. Almost the same thing. almost the same thing. It's just you relax more until you reach the end. I love it. So yeah, and we will have another one which will be just with one skein, 60 grams written down, and you can knit in one if you have 60-gram ball. You can do whatever you want with colors. Right, and I think that's all that I finished. And if you ask me what kind of needles I use US size 2.5 3mm needles, but in the pattern I'm going to tell you that you can go with 3.5, so US size 3 for the body if you want to. I have some leftovers. I still need to count how much I have, so that kind of gives you a bit of a safe thing. There will be also in the finished object video, I'm going to tell you what I was doing to make sure that I have enough yarn for a round, how to do that if you're without having a special machine to weight your less than 1 gram thing, because I don't have a machine like that. And a few bits and stuff that may help you to knit it. And I hope you're going to enjoy it. And I'm going to give, like I said, 50% off in the thread hashtag love hate licorice swap. So if you join, use that code. I hope people will be doing that away. So only if you swap with someone, you deserve that code. If you use that code and you don't swap, bad knitter. Anyway, but you know, I'm not going to judge you. So yes, so it will be there. 3 hats in collection, and they'll be separate to buy 2 if you want to.